You ready? Welcome to episode 3 of our knockdown rebuild project in Melbourne, Victoria, where we are showing you all the things about Project 13, what we love about design, our save and splurge tips while we knock down the old house and build the new house. So this week we are talking all about kitchens, and I am really excited to share this. So if you haven't seen episode 2 where I walk you through the floor plans, I'd highly recommend going back and watching that one first so that you get an idea of the fundamental layout that I was talking about when it's in 2D versus now seeing it in 3D. So today I'm talking about the layout, and then I'm also sharing the scullery, laundry, and our drop zone, and those essential things that you should be including in your scullery versus what a pantry is. I think there's a lot of confusion about what a scullery is versus what a pantry is, and why I've integrated that into the rear of the home with our laundry and drop zone as well, and an overview of our materials and finishes and some of our save tips as well. So, big episode, let's get into it. So this is our overview of our kitchen here, which I am super excited to get into actually constructing this. It is going to be next level when this is all comes to life, and I am really excited. As I mentioned in the previous episodes, we've designed this for a family. So this is ideally would probably be your parents and then maybe 3 kids. So we have designed the kitchen layout to really cater for a large family. And in this particular design, I have included our sink to our back wall location. Now, a lot of people say never put your sink in your island, which you do you. So we do the sink in the island a lot, but it really depends on what you think your island space might be used for. And we actually felt like the island would be great if we had an area on the other side where you could sit as well as this side, and then stools along this area as well to really make use of that island space, potentially while the parents are in the kitchen prepping for dinner or whoever that might be, and then kids might be along here doing homework or just sitting here in general. It could also be used as an extra area to eat meals. Let's be honest, a lot of people eat on the fly. A great area for people to sit and have, say, their breakfast, or even, dinners and things like that. Maybe the full family's not there. So the priority for this space was to really keep that island free so it could be used for multiple things for a family, from prep to eating to sitting and enjoying the space. When we come into the space on this side, we have our integrated fridge and freezer. So we've chosen the Miele appliances for this home, which we absolutely loved from a perspective of functionality and also cost. These were the most cost-effective integrated appliances that also allows me to have an integrated fridge in the scullery as well, which I think is really important for sometimes those integrated fridges, the depth of them doesn't allow for a lot of deeper storage. So the additional fridge in that space is great for, say, those overflow items or items that you might want to store in a scullery for prep in there, and then things that you might not access all the time. So that has been a really great addition to the space. And then we have our double ovens. So I love wall-mounted ovens because I'm tall, and I also think they are really user-friendly when you're not bending over and leaning under a counter to get things out of an oven. Now, 600 ovens, sometimes people will say that these can be a little bit small, so we've included another 600, so you can be cooking in both at the same time. And then we have our double pantry system here as well. So this is our area where we come in. We've got our fridge, freezer, cooking zone, and then our food storage zone as well. So imagine bringing your groceries in, popping them on the bench, and then you're unloading into this zone in this space with ease. Or if you are getting ready to prep for dinner, then you can be bringing those items out and popping them on the counter and getting ready to go. We still have ample space either side of the cooktop on the back wall too, for either prep or pots and pans getting ready to put on the cooktop. And then this area in here is also a concealed storage space that can be opened, and you might have the Thermomix hiding in there, or appliances that you might want to access quite quickly and be able to plug in and off you go. Now, we haven't done our full electrical plan yet, so you'll notice you won't see any GPOs in the kitchen at this point, but we are working on those plans at the moment. I did decide to not include overheads in this kitchen design. One, it's a save on joinery materials, and I also felt like it was a beautiful focal point as you come in to the home from the entryway around this space here, to have that on the back wall with a tiled range hood and a floating shelf. Just added a really nice finish and viewpoint for the kitchen, and then also a light feature on this wall. We have ample storage in so many locations in this kitchen. So as you come through, you'll see as we're looking out into the main living area, so there will be, this would be a TV wall, and we will have some furniture curated into the design soon. But you can see on the island bench here, we've included drawers. Now, all that lower storage, drawers are great because you've probably heard this 1,000 times, but pulling out a drawer and being able to see what's inside is a lot easier than having to bend down and crawl into a cupboard to get to the back. This could be the cutlery drawers, it could be your spice drawer, you could have your crockery in these drawers. There's so many options for drawer storage that makes it really user-friendly, but also in the location of where your dishwasher is. So on this rear area here, and we always recommend this for your sink location, include your bin and dishwasher in your sink location. And if you have the space, it's great to be able to include them on either side of your sink. So when you're going into the kitchen, you can scrape into the bin, rinse in the sink, and then stack in your dishwasher. And then when you are opening your dishwasher to unpack, then you've got the drawer storage either side here to be stacking majority of all your items in the space that they need to be put away. It's a really, really functional way of making sure that you make life easy when you are packing the dishwasher and unpacking it. Let's be honest, they get used every single day. So let's make life easy. The joinery down the end here to the cooktop side, which you can see on this angle here, we have drawers in this location as well. And we do have this one will stop at this location here. So the drawer will be a little bit shorter at the back, just so we don't hit the door handles. And again, amazing storage that we've got. And then we have all these push to close uppers as well, because I really wanted full height joinery in this space. Our ceiling height down here is, from memory, 3 meters. I will get back to you on that. But this is a really nice elevated feeling with joinery. There's nothing worse than seeing gaps above joinery and having that dust collector along the top. Nobody wants that. And we will have like the little shadow detail in the top there too, just to create a little bit of a line and a nice finished detail for the doors to open nicely, and just a little bit of a shadow towards the ceiling. This material we're using, we're going with Polytech, and we're 99% certain on all materials. But the most important thing when you're starting your kitchen design journey is to ensure that you focus on your appliances first. If you don't know what appliances you want, or how many ovens, or the size of cooktop, or what fridges, you can't design your kitchen. So imagine if I designed all this and then chose my appliances last. My appliances may not fit. So you need to think about what you want as the type of home that you're building, whether you're a couple or you're single or you're planning for a family. Think about the type of appliances that you want to include. Does it include integrated appliances? Is it double ovens? Is it a larger oven under the cooktop? Do you want more wall space for storage? All those things are really important when you come to that design journey around what it is that you want to include and the way that you want your kitchen to function. Appliances first, and then really start to think about your materials and finishes, particularly with your benchtop surfaces. We are 99% sure probably going to go with a porcelain finish, which will be really hard wearing and heat resistant and scratch resistant, but it does make our profiles along the edge detail different to say what it would be if we were using a natural stone or an engineered stone. So I'm going to get more into materials and finishes and the installation process of that in future episodes as well, to take you down the track of exactly what each of those materials will be. But it's really important that you focus on your appliances first to dictate your overall design, and then think about materials and finishes that you want to include and how they impact design, and then move forward with the overall spatial planning and layout, which is something that you would probably do in that infancy stage where you've got your team together with your architect and designer. Then your interior designer can come in and start to design the full interior so that you're getting visualizations like this, and you know exactly where the dishwasher is. You know exactly how that bin is going to pull out, what pantry system you have, what detail is in your joinery, what is your joinery, how your profile is going to be finished for your benchtop surface, how deep is this shelf coming off the wall. So all of these elements are what your interior designer is focused on and is responsible for in your overall planning. So we're really excited about how this has come together, and I think it's visually really beautiful, but again, really, really functional, and also with a few of our save and spillage tips by not including more joinery across the top. We did and ah about doing a micro cement finish across here, but that will come back to cost. Again, something that is really pricey. I think people forget about the labor of that process. So that might come, we might add that in later if budget allows, but I'm thinking we'll probably just stick with the painted wall. We've got some beautiful features in here that I don't think are going to be let down if we don't do a micro cement. And we're also using the Polytech thermolaminate product in here so we can have the profile door as well. So I'll be sharing more about that and the profile door that is with Polytech soon, with all the materials and finishes. So going back to that original layout, remember how we got rid of that entry space through here. And so now you can see why. The flow through here is really ideal when you're coming in and accessing this space, leaving the entry and exit to the home on this side when you're going through the garage. Functional kitchen, a layout that works for all the different elements, for multiple people using it at the same time. So we're really, really proud of this design and think it's a huge compliment to this home. So as we move further, we're going to head down into the scullery and laundry. Now, I absolutely love this space as well, and I think it is so user-friendly for families. So this is our door that comes off the garage. 90% of the time, families or people are coming in and out of the garage. They're parking in the garage and then they're accessing their home through the garage. And then you want to be able to put things places. So in this zone, we have our drop zone on this side. So you'll enter the home, shoes can go into this drawer, or you can be putting coats and jackets or whatever you might want to put in this cupboard here and in these locations here as well. But this is where the school bags might go. This is where the school shoes go. This is where you've got all the things that you just dump and then run, but somewhere to put it. On the other side, we'll most likely have some power on this side. So as I said, we're still doing our electrical planning, which can be the device charging station. So you come in, you want to plug the laptop in or quickly charge the phones and iPads. That can be the spot to do this as well. It is out of the way. It's not cluttering up the kitchen bench. I can't tell you how many times I've walked into homes and seen that the kitchen bench is where everything just gets dumped, or the console near the entry or whatever, and it's just the place where everything gets hoarded. And it's such a design challenge in existing homes to make that better. So we have the option of our knockdown rebuild and doing it right from the start. So in our scullery zone, when I spoke about the flow of this as well, so coming into the home, we're dumping and putting things in this location. We have our laundry area on this side with our drying cabinet, our washer dryer, and then our laundry zone with hampers as well, so that dirty laundry can go in those. So imagine the kids coming home, they've got dirty jumpers from school or whatever, they could go straight in the hamper or straight in the washing machine and pop a load on. You don't need to go anywhere else, and then you can walk straight into your kitchen zone. We've got functional storage throughout, which is great for large families as well, where you can put things that are easily accessible and things that you might need on the run as you're flying out the door as well. On the other side, we have our scullery zone, which would also be probably like your breakfast prep zone too. Another space that can be used quite heavily in homes, but I've seen designed badly sometimes, which is where people create these zones as sculleries, but then they don't include the sink, bin, and the dishwasher. Sculleries are pointless if you have a sink and then you don't include a bin and a dishwasher, because all you're doing is creating another zone for mess. So you might bring items back into this area and you might need to scrape and rinse, and then you're having to go back out to the main kitchen, scrape and rinse, and then you're just stacking into a dishwasher out there. So this is a fully functional kitchen area that is great for that, say, that morning run. So we've included the coffee machine in here. We have an overflow of pantry, and we also have a integrated fridge in this zone as well. So you could be coming in here in the morning, you could be grabbing your milk and your butter and your Vegemite or whatever. You can have some appliances out here. You might be making your toast, making your coffee, making your oats and popping it in the microwave here. You've got cutlery drawers available and crockery drawers too. Then you can be putting rubbish in the bin and stacking into the dishwasher, and on you go for the day. So another great zone for smaller prep, quick prep, but a fully functioning area where you have your bin and dishwasher too. And also great on the reverse. Coming home from your day, the kids are coming in, you might have lunch boxes and dirty things in the bag. They can be rinsed in the sink, drink bottles refilled, put in the fridge for the day, and then stacking into the dishwasher, ready to be washed and prepped for use for the next day. So a fully functioning zone that caters for everyone, and then you can walk straight through into your kitchen area and start your night or whatever you're doing when you get home from the day. So we think the layout has created a really nice functional flow for a large family. Again, this has been designed for a family home to make life really easy, including all the things that families would use, and also, you know, some design considerations that really consider cost and also maximum functionality and practicality as well. So take into account this joinery as well is another detail that we've included. This will be a matte joinery that we've included in here in a lighter finish. It'll be easy to wipe down. It's also a little bit of a darker area with like coming off the garage area. We do have the door down this end to go outside to the clothesline, but we decided to mix up the finishes here and keep this nice and light and bright. And also this joinery will be a little bit more of a save feature than the kitchen joinery, being the flat matte profile with plain doors. It still has maximum impact from a finish perspective, allowing us to splurge a little bit on our integrated coffee machine. So we hope that you love the overall design and the finishes that we've included. We are working through all the finishes on the entire home at the moment and the rest of our design. So we can't wait to show you what's coming up in the next episode. But today is all about kitchen, laundry and scullery. So we hope you love that. If you've got any feedback, please drop a comment in the YouTube channel comment group or send us a DM, and we'll see you for the next episode.